Counselor Lehman.
Here.
Counselor Matthew.
Here.
Counselor Larson.
Here.
Counselor Keithley.
Here.
Mayor Swanson.
Here. Report from department heads, Public Works.
I think spring is here, finally. So we've been starting to clean up around town, all the places that we end up hitting the sod, trying to clean up after ourselves. And with spring comes the alley, fixing up the alleys and stuff, and we're getting to them once they dry up. Some of them have dried up, and we've gone to them once they've dried up. And something that I would like to do that we did last year is buy another 200 yards of class 5 to clean the alleys in the low spots. And that price comes to $1,530 from Seppi's.
Well, that's figured in your budget anyhow, isn't it? So,
Okay. And then our street sweeper broke down once again, which happens every spring it seems like. And well, we have Northland Tractor looking at it, and we've been putting so much money into that street sweeper that at the price, I'm just having them do a quote right now. I'm not having them fix it at the time being, because if it's going to be a lot of money again, I don't think it's worth putting it into it.
We put in, what, 10,000 last year?
A couple of years ago.
2 years ago.
Somewhere around there.
What happened to it, or what's?
I don't know yet. That's at Northland. So.
It's not sweeping, or it's not running, or?
Yeah, the sweeper don't work anymore. He's going and you heard a loud bang and it's not working.
did you mention that other deal with Trent
About using the sweeper with the...
Oh, yes.
on South Memorial?
Yes.
He ended it this morning, or this afternoon.
And Dan is back.
Yeah, Dan came back yesterday, so they're full force again,
Good.
which is nice.
So in other words, like Diana was saying, you guys are kind of on the lookout for another sweeper.
Potentially.
Yeah.
It depends on what the price tag comes at on this next fix here. But if it's not too much, we should fix it so we can at least get the street swept.
Well, what do we consider not too much?
I don't know, maybe $5,000. Maybe you guys have a different number in mind.
I have no idea what a sweeper would cost.
Oh, they're a lot.
Yeah, the sweepers are expensive.
So-
We're putting 10 grand in every couple of years.
The current sweeper that we have is a 1981, and we bought it in 2002 for $17,500.
Okay.
And it doesn't have a working water system on it. I'm sure you guys have all
The water tank,
aware of
is-
that.
can't use
Yeah.
it. It's time to look around.
I just have one thing, Trent, I was walking around the other night and up by the dumpsters, I was wondering if at some time I could get some material up there.
Yeah, I've dumped a couple times in there. It gets pushed down, so yeah, but thank you.
Do we want to put a cap on what we're willing to spend if we get a quote in so we can, I don't know if this is something that, I mean, it's fairly urgent because we've got to have a sweeper in town. So by the next meeting, we for sure want to have quotes on either a new sweeper or a new used sweeper. Or if a quote comes in under a certain amount, do we want to have them just go ahead and get it fixed?
I don't think we should put any more than $3,000 into it.
And
Really,
can they not fix the water pump on there? Or?
Well, they can, but they'd have to put a whole new tank into it.
and that's,
Oh, okay.
And we don't want to put it in something that we might be getting rid of here soon.
What did they all fix last time, do you know?
You're talking about 2 years ago?
Yeah.
There was a bunch of stuff. They started fixing one thing and then they found other things and just kept building up.
well, what happened to it this
I
time,
can't remember off the top of my
Trent?
head.
What's it not doing? I mean, what happened?
The sweeper's not rotating at all. You can't even engage it. Try to engage it, it just starts clunking, so.
Could be just a keyway or something. Maybe.
It might be, that's, we're just gonna have to wait, because it just
Might
happened.
not be.
It just happened yesterday, so we don't
Yeah.
know yet what the problem is.
So should we put a dollar amount, and if it goes above that, then we just not spend any more money on this and move on to looking for something else?
I guess it's no different than the sheriff's car, just more money.
I'd
Do we
say,
have money for a new sweeper?
We have, for our street equipment, we have 92,000 set aside for street equipment.
Yeah, I'm fine with putting a cap, I guess. It's-
What do you think would be a fair cap, Paul?
Trouble is, it costs so much to fix anything
Yes,
nowadays.
it does.
Yeah,
and parts are expensive, so
4,000?
I'd say 5.
5?
Sorry.
It's something maybe we can talk with Paul and Northland about too, to see if he thinks it's worth putting X amount into and how long the rest of it might,
Yeah.
you
get an
know.
evaluation from him instead of putting a cap on and
If
then,
you put 10,000 into, you know, the tranny and whatever 2 years ago, it might be worth putting a little more into now because eventually,
Well, let's put it this way, yeah, we
But
can
it might
always,
not be.
we can always
Depending
do
on
it at
what's
next
done.
meeting, and whatever comes back, and they say what's wrong, or what it might
Yeah.
cost, or what have you, and then judge from there, because we got all summer to use it.
I mean, maybe
Whatever we do.
maybe the same thing happened as 2 years ago that it cost 10, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It won't
Then it's just-
do- Yeah.
so. The only thing I'm thinking is that, you know, we're gonna be a while out here before we have another council meeting. And if we find out within, you know, a few days here that this is what it is and it is something fairly simple, we're just gonna let it sit down there and wait until we have another meeting, or do we wanna allow Trent to find out and leave it to his discretion whether
Yeah.
it's worth repairing or not? Or do you want to take responsibility for that? Or,
I guess I'm comfortable with Trent if he, you know,
you talk with
if
Paul?
he wants to talk.
Yeah, I just haven't talked to him yet because we just put it in there yesterday, so yesterday afternoon is when we got in there.
It sounds like it's just a Band-Aid on something that's gonna be ongoing.
It-
I can't see us keep throwing money after it.
It may be worth just a suggestion. If we're putting that much into a sweeper then depending on what this is, what do you usually use it in the spring?
Yeah, we use it in the spring and in the fall.
Ziegler's now is a rental center and they have sweepers there.
We looked into it, I don't remember off the top of my head, but I remember seeing
It might be
the
real
price tag, it's really expensive for just a day.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
It'd be worth looking at though.
Yeah, let's cover
I can look at it again and get a
Okay,
price for you.
let's cover all the avenues on this thing that
Yeah,
we can do.
So when did we buy that one?
2002.
It's an 81.
It's an 81, we bought it in 2002.
17.5? And we put 10 into it 2 years ago.
It's been down
it's been
there every spring, it's been down.
Before that
Yeah.
10, there was stuff in it, there was more. Yes, I know there was.
Yeah.
Years.
So,
Do we want to say 3,500? Do you have a suggestion, Trent?
3,500 works for me.
didn't you originally say 5?
I originally said 5, yes.
I don't mind leaving it at 5 if he gets the information from Paul, who really thinks, you know, if you do
It
this.
might be good, yeah.
that it's gonna
Okay.
be good, you know? If he can't say that this is gonna
In the
be,
case, it's under 5, but he says,
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
The initial thing is, it's under 5, he looks at initial thing, but like you said, what happened before, you start tearing it apart,
Something else and something
So
else.
we're gonna have to, because we gotta remember, we gotta cover labor
yeah.
and everything else on that, so. Well, I'll make a motion that we go up to 5,000 as far as for repairs on the sweeper.
I'll support.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
That's all I have for you, Reno.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay.
Thanks, Trent.
Thanks.
Fire and ambulance.
All I basically got is we're running with the paid-on call now. It's been going quite well. 3 calls 1 week, 2, and we just had another one today, so that's 2 already this week that we've covered. So it's been working out really well. So we're gonna just continue watching and seeing how that goes. We did run into a problem, not a problem, but something that was overlooked is the last 2 calls have been towards the end of the day. So we got some people running over that 3:30 mark. They know that they're not getting overtime, but they are still, so they might have a 9-hour day or a 9.5-hour day if the call comes in at 3:15 and nobody's able to take it in town, so.
That's gonna happen though.
It is gonna happen, so, yeah, so just so you guys are, the only other,
Just with the numbers that you have in the first couple of weeks, I mean, does it look like it's,
yeah, I mean, that, if we can keep this pace, well, it definitely won't be an issue, or, we won't touch any that we have set aside. We'll hit some slow weeks, so I know, so.
oh, for sure?
But yeah, I mean, it's been good, and our evenings and weekends have been steady too, so that always helps. I mean, those cover the daytime ones, so if they do go a week or 2 without any calls, we're doing a pretty good job of running calls in the middle of the night and on the weekend, so the money, I think, is not gonna be an issue. And the peace of mind knowing that now when the pager goes off, we have people responding within 30 seconds. I mean, that's huge.
Huge.
So. But yeah, no, so for your 3-month mark, I'll kind of have some numbers for you guys. So,
Okay.
and we'll go from there. The only thing I would like to do with that though is take out of the ambulance, not using the fire department budget, but out of the ambulance budget and be able to buy them. We looked at, we got some shirts and jackets coming. Whether we ordered them on the fact that if they had to pay for them out of pocket, they would, just so we kind of, when they're out and about in the public during the day or going to these calls, they're looking like they belong on an ambulance service. So we're looking at, we're getting some pants, a shirt, and a light jacket. For spring and summertime, we do have a couple old winter jackets that work great for wintertime. However, we're not in that season right now, so. With you guys is okay, I would like to be able to take out of the ambulance fund and actually pay for a pair of pants, a shirt, and 1 jacket. And then if they want to order above and beyond that, that's on their cost.
Is it after they've been with you for a certain amount of time?
Well, no,
Any
it's-
idea that they'll be with you for a while?
The thing is that it won't be for them, it'll be the ambulance, but they'll be able to take it home, wash it, wear it to their shift.
Okay.
But yes, if they leave, then they'll leave the pants, the shirt, the jacket, in case it works for
How
somebody else.
much are you looking at,
It'd
Josh?
be under $100 per person for a pants, shirt, and jacket.
How
So,
many people?
right now, just 4. So,
Okay.
I'll make a motion, we allow them to go ahead and buy the uniform materials for the ambulance.
Support?
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried?
And then next,
And 1 abstention.
I'm gonna abstain from that.
Yes.
and then I was looking around, I picked up my certification, so I will be able to teach our own CPR classes from here on out, which naturally will save the department some money. However, with that, I would like to look at purchasing a set of mannequins. Next meeting I'll have a quote for you. I think it's gonna be under $500. By doing our class, we'll easily pay for that the first time around, but we have to have a couple mannequins, and we borrow a lot from the college now, but sometimes when you can have your own in-house, or if we get a new member that needs to be brought up to speed on CPR, I can do that one night then. And the only other thing with that too is we would, between myself and someone paid on call, we'd be looking at opening it up to the community. Anybody in the city of Buhl wants it, all we charge them is for the price of the card, which is about $5.
That's a great idea.
So,
Resuscitation aid.
Yep.
just with everything that goes on nowadays, and
Yeah.
it's a tool everybody should know how to do or have.
Yeah.
So, but I'll have that quote for you next meeting. So,
Sounds good, Josh.
Thank you.
Is that
Thank you.
it? Thank you. Engineering's not here, attorney, long-range planning and zoning,
We have the business here, regular meeting after.
okay. It's on our agenda, correct?
No,
Or-
That was the other thing I was gonna add to the agenda, I was trying to think.
Okay,
Duh.
it was part of the department work.
can we add it right now as part of the long-range
Okay, I
plan?
suppose we could do this right now. As everybody was present, you heard about the rezoning and that stuff, so I'd like to make a recommendation to the council that we approve rezoning that said piece of property from commercial to R1 low-density residential.
We just had a public hearing, and it was voted on by the Long Range Planning and Zoning to do that. Are you all aware of the property we're talking about up here on Pennsylvania Avenue?
Do you need an address in the motion, or? I'll make the motion that we,
We've got the address in the
It's 410 Pennsylvania.
410 Pennsylvania, okay,
rezone it to R1,
yes.
Low density residential, yeah.
low density residential. Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Thank you.
Okay. Recreation Board, we met last night,
Yeah, how'd that go?
and, well, it was interesting. We were short one member, but we knew he was not gonna be able to make it because of his work, and Monday isn't a good night for him, so we did have a motion, and it was supported that we change our meeting day to the second Tuesday of every month at 5:30 at the skating shack. So we'll start doing that. It works better for the other members.
Until a long-range planning meeting comes along.
Right, right. So that'll be a little issue, but hopefully
Yeah.
I'll fill this board up. With that being said, I did talk with Brenda Rini, Liz Radosevich, and she would like to come on to this board, so I'd like to, what do I want to do? I want to put her on this board.
You'd like to recommend her?
I would like to recommend that we have her on the Recreation Board,
We'll support that.
appoint. Can I have-
A motion and a support.
I'll make a motion that we appoint or put Brenda Rainey on the rec board.
And you're supporting that, Jean?
I'm supporting
All right,
that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. She served on that board before, so it'll be nice to have her
She did, when she
experience.
first came to town, she did? Yes.
And then we want to change the hiring date for beach staff to age 16. We thought we would leave the supervisor position as is, and we'd like to get those hirings out, and I
We got
think
that
that's in,
coming up,
that's
yeah.
in here, yeah. And then at the end of our meeting, Chris offered his resignation to the board. He hadn't even done his
Oh, Mr. Porter.
Oath of
yeah,
office?
oath of office yet, and he is interested in applying for a position with the rec board, so he had to resign from the
Sure.
position. So we're still short one member, so we'll keep looking. All right. Library board meets on Thursday. BETA meets the end of the month, Wednesday, and the sheriff's department.
All I have is more news like Trent had. Update on the Buhl squad. Deputy Twaddle stopped there last Thursday for a shift back, and apparently the parts are unavailable and on back order. They have no idea when they're gonna be in, so
I'm checking on that too.
he will be continuing to use the spare squad car, so.
All right.
So he has a car, but not the one that
He
needs
should
to be
have.
repaired, so.
Okay.
No idea when it's gonna be
I
fixed, so.
suppose the back order, they have no idea.
No. So, nothing we can do about it, but wait, so.
And that's all right for the
Yeah.
time being,
Yeah, that's fine, he's got a
We'll
spare
talk to
car, so.
Rich tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah, so that's all I have.
All right.
Thank
well,
you.
Thank you. I want to thank
you.
Officer Twaddle too. He came in early on Saturday before his shift started because of the large funeral we had in town and
Yes.
the number of people, and because of the small ride they wanted to do as a memorial. He came in early
Very nice.
on his own just to be here to oversee that, and we appreciate that. So, council additions to the agenda, we have a few. Minnesota Energy invoice in the amount of $2,419.16
That'll be added on to our,
to our claims.
Yes.
yes.
And so we will add change order number 1, South Memorial Drive project,
Yep.
416 Seville Avenue Alley. Probation period for Diana Bronson and for Terry Heedy.
Yep.
The disc golf course, and I want to touch briefly on a church handicap parking spot. So with all of those, we have a longer meeting than anybody thought we were gonna have. Any citizens forum?
No.
Gary, you want to talk to us tonight?
Oh, no.
All right. Consent agenda?
I'll make a motion that we accept the regular minutes of the city council from April 5th.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Claims?
I'll make a motion, we accept all the claims on the paper here, including the Minnesota Energy bill that came in late for $2,419.16.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. All right. Stubler Pit advertising.
We've done this before
Yes,
for the $48.
well,
Back in March, at the March 15th meeting, an ad was approved, and that was for just the annual edition in the March paper. It wasn't for the visitor guide book. This request is for the visitor guide itself, not just the Sunday paper. It's a separate book that comes out every year.
okay.
The ad will be the same looking.
Yeah.
It's the same ad as what was in the paper edition, but that's what this is for.
And that ad is $48,
Yes.
due by May 9th.
I'll make a motion that we accept that ad for $48 for the visitor guide.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Madam Mayor.
Yes.
I'm just not in the opinion of this, but the Stubler Beach, I was down there and walked around the other night, and we had beavers. I was wondering if we could have a motion to, or get somebody to come and trap them. Trapping season does go till May 15th. And after that, I'm sure we'd have to get a state trapper to come in. I don't know if we have a budget for that, probably not.
Is there a problem or what?
Well, we should get rid of them out of the beach.
They have trapped them in the past.
Yes, yeah.
I saw one dead laying on the road out there the other day.
I really don't want my kids coming and get that beaver fever that's going. So,
That would be a good idea to advertise that we'd like somebody to trap the beavers out here. If we have anybody local who'd be interested in doing it, I know of a couple of guys in town who do trap.
if not, we can get the state trapper to,
Okay.
But if we end up going that route, we have to pay to have them trapped out. So if we can get somebody local who would just want to do it for the beaver pelts.
There's no money in
there's no
it.
money in it, that's the thing.
That's the thing you want.
I mean, even if we can pay somebody local to get
Bob, are you willing to?
At these prices.
Well said.
Well, I don't know if there's a dollar amount that you're thinking about for,
I don't know, I just want to see them done,
yeah.
so.
And we're still in a time frame where it could be done locally if somebody's willing to.
I guess the quickest way we could do it is put it on the Buhl website, huh?
Website, post office, shortstop.
Yeah. We could try that. If anybody's interested, go ahead and go try.
Yeah,
If you want, they should probably
Let us
know.
Right,
Yeah.
not just.
yeah.
Yeah, contact.
If interested, call City
No, we
Hall.
don't have traps left down there for
Yeah,
Right.
swimmers.
that's a good idea. Do we need this in the form of a motion, Diana? You'd like it that
I
way?
would like it.
I'll make a motion that we get somebody to trap down at the beach.
Are you seeing a
Advertise.
house down there? Is it?
There's 4 of them, 2.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Well, I didn't know your name was Mike.
Another visitor's guide.
This is the spending one.
Yeah,
This is.
and I don't know if it really serves much purpose for us. I don't know.
We didn't do this one last year because they contacted us too late. 2 years ago, we did. So the copies that you have is from the 2014 visitor guide.
Well, that would not, if we did do this, it wouldn't be the same as it is here, because you still have to get the other people to pay sponsorship fees for this.
Well, that's what, the bottom ads on the water tower page, she said those could be different ads. She doesn't know if these people are still gonna be advertising, so. That would just, the bottom part would be different.
I don't know that we need 2 pages of advertising. A full page. Full page ad is like 2 pages?
It's one page.
I'm guessing so, like when you open up the book maybe, 'cause it does have 2 pages, but it's, yeah.
Adjacent to each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. What, is there a benefit to this? I mean, as it is, our campgrounds are busy, our beach is busy.
Right, and we do already advertising the campground.
Yep.
The only thing worth advertising is that we have some beautiful lots for sale around Stubler Pit. But I don't know that we need 2 full pages of talking about that, probably on 1 page, you know. Can we do a half-page ad with them?
I can ask them.
Yeah.
If we could do a half-page ad and
Yeah.
do up something about the Stubler Pit properties, that I think would be worthwhile putting in here.
Did we at one time for the Stubler property, did we have it on the billboard?
There is
one that's
sign,
is, yeah.
yeah. There's a sign out there, yeah. You drive past it forever, so you don't see it anymore. That's how that goes.
Yeah.
But we could take some of the bullet points off that sign and put them into an ad. That's pretty much what it is, beautiful location,
Right.
reasonable lots.
What's the deadline for this?
May 9th.
May 9th.
Well, this is also May 9th.
Yes.
Well, what are the council wishes on that?
I think we can have Diana get back to us on the next meeting and take some action.
What, our next meeting is what, May what?
May 4th.
Send it to water.
All right.
We can table
So
this.
we'll table it for now. Have a motion to table?
I'll make a motion to table this till next meeting, May 9th, or 4th.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. This one threw me for a loop. I had to ask Diana, Wasabi Manor
Yeah, nursing home, yeah.
Manor. I never heard it called that, but I guess that's what it is on the papers, so.
Yeah.
We have a resolution authorizing the city of Buhl to make application to and accept funds from the IRRB Commercial Redevelopment Fund. We've been wanting to get rid of that eyesore for a long time, and it's a hazard.
I'll make a motion that we adopt resolution 16-15.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Roll call?
Counselor Lehman?
Yes.
Counselor Matthew?
Yes.
Counselor Larson?
Yes.
Counselor Keithley?
Yes.
Mayor Swanson?
Yes. All right, we are back to the land swap issue with the property at 520 Memorial Drive. His request is that we split the costs.
I don't have a problem with it.
I don't
To be
know.
honest.
I mean, my gentleman's been taking care of that property since he moved there, mowing it, cleaning it up.
Well, this morning, the way he sounded too, I think he's been actually taxed for it. He seemed to think that,
I don't,
I don't think so,
I
but
don't think so.
the description would.
he thought the description was,
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I'll make a motion that we make this, that we make the offer to him at 50-50 split.
Support.
any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
And then down below, we need a motion to get title opinions then, if he accepts this 50/50.
Okay,
I'll make a motion that we
get the title opinions done.
title opinions done.
Okay.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Okay, the city street department is ready to advertise to hire their summer labor at a rate of $9 an hour. Make a motion to allow them to start posting for that?
I'll make that motion at the rate of $9 per hour.
Question.
Yes.
Trent, how many people did we get last year for summer help too? They worked all summer?
Yes,
Yeah,
they did.
Trying to remember back in the years too.
Because there was no applications, there was
Right.
only
The only ones
two.
that applied.
I was wondering if we could think about it, opening this up to residents of Great Scott. but-
Just area children,
Yeah,
and with a preference to the Buhl ones if there's a ton of applications, something
yeah,
like
because if
that.
we don't get any Buhl kids or anything.
I mean, ideally, how many would you like to see?
4.
So if there are 4 Buhl kids, they would get preference. If there's not, and kids come in from the other areas, that you could place them on. Is that all right? Is that legal to do?
I
Yes.
don't, it is, I don't know, I'm not really jump up and down on that, but
Well, it's paid through local revenues. To hire locally is what we've always done. If we're gonna open it up, I can see opening it up, but we want to take Buhl kids first.
definitely, yeah, that's what I meant. I don't see why opening
You
up.
could give Buhl residents preference, I guess.
Yeah, well, in case we end up with only a couple of kids applying, and if they don't work out, it's nice to have a little pool to draw from, because they use them.
You never know, somebody who's retired might apply.
Well, that's true, they're over 16 if they've retired.
You're on the council, though, Gene, you can't.
And I want
Can I have
Somebody made a motion already, but
I'll
Jim made the
amend it to include Great Scott.
okay,
You know, let
residents
the
of
old
Buhl,
preferential first.
okay.
Sport?
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Okay. Now the rec department would like to advertise for their summer help for the beach. Diana, I meant to ask you, it doesn't say on here what the rates of pay
Just
are.
gonna ask that.
$9 for beach attendants, supervisor,
$9.50?
$10.50. Supervisor was $10.50.
$1.50 more.
But those have been raises that have come
Right.
along, but is that what we want to do?
I didn't put anything in here because I wasn't sure what was going to be discussed at the Parks and Rec. Usually
They said whatever we did
Okay.
last year, we should do, so I
It was
guess it'll be $9 and $10.50 for the supervisor. We would like to change the age to 16 for beach attendants, because we thought, really, you know, in this day of cell phones, if we've got a kid down there who's 16 who's cleaning and raking, we used to have 16-year-olds working the beach. They can call 911 with their cell phone if they have adults that they don't feel they can deal with.
Another thing about this, if we hire these people, what they should, I think would be a good idea to get them CPR certified and trained.
Would be good.
I mean, if they're sitting there watching people and somebody has an accident, I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
We used to get lifeguards.
Before we had lifeguards, that was standard procedure.
Yeah.
Josh knows that, we had them down there before. But we couldn't get certified lifeguards anymore.
Well, they were harder to come by.
Yep.
They were harder to come by now.
Yeah.
It's darn hard to get one.
And it's too bad he doesn't have those training dummies there now, you know, this would make it simple.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, we could totally fit that into this. I mean, if that was something that you guys were interested in.
by the time the beach opened.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even if we didn't order, we do have means of borrowing.
Oh, okay.
So in other words, we could touch base with you and.
Sure, absolutely.
Set up a little class for
And
these.
make that required for them to be CPR certified.
I think that's a great
That's not a
idea.
bad idea.
That's a great idea.
we do a motion, yeah?
No,
I'll make a motion that we put we're gonna hire out get the.
Advertise to hire.
Advertisement out for hire.
At the same rate of pay as last year?
And then one of the qualifications is getting CPR certified.
Which the city will provide.
And we'll change the age of beach attendants to at least 16 years of age rather than the 18. That is support.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. All right, I'd like a motion to rescind the ambulance paid on call motion from last meeting.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm gonna send my motion that I made last meeting or 2 meetings ago.
Support.
all in favor?
Aye.
I'm sorry, who supported that? Okay.
Motion carried.
Now, I'll make a motion that we set the call rates for the EMT at $9 an hour and $8 for the first responders for the fire department.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried, and one abstention. Stewie's abstaining. All right. Oh, this was my mistake at the last meeting when we discussed this and we were kind of just deciding to take no action. I actually asked if somebody would like to table it, so it was tabled. Well, if it's tabled, it's got to be brought back again. And I think we were just going to take no action. But unless somebody wants to act on it, otherwise we can just move on by taking no action.
Need to have a motion.
Yes.
I'll make a motion. We have no action on this.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
We'll do that for last. That next one.
Can we save that for last since we're going into closed session for that?
Yeah, we can take care of other business and
We'll
council
take care of
additions
the
first.
other additions to our agenda before we go into closed session.
Yeah.
All right, so we have,
What have you got first on your list?
Change order number 1.
All that,
Right? Is that what you have first?
yes, yes.
South Memorial change order?
well, being that this has been all settled and we figured out what the heck's going on here, I'll make a motion that we pay the change order number 1 increases of $10,516.32.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. 416 Seville Avenue. This, Trent, is something I think that you were going to look at, the water drainage issue that
Where are we looking?
Mr. Philman has.
All that, yeah.
I went
Finding my sheet here.
through there today and all the water in the pictures is gone.
Yeah. You're right. it is.
Actually, that part of the alley looks really better than any of it.
I wish my alley was that good.
I just drove by a few days ago.
One of the things that just recently happened is the frost went on the ground, so
Right.
all the water
Yeah.
is gonna drain away then.
Right.
I mean, yeah, we probably do need some material in the dry alleys, but
Yeah.
I guess we can all say too that our people that work for the city are doing their best to
Right.
try and keep up with the problems if there's
Well, and
class 5 needed.
that we respond to any concerns of citizens is always important, so with the ordering of more class 5, you can put a little more grade down there and see if we can,
This time of year,
Oh, it's tough.
you can't, you put class 5 in a pothole for start.
Washes out.
It washes out.
yeah,
So
you'll have to
it's
wait.
better to wait till it's dry.
All right.
I'll make a motion, we just
No
action on this for now.
Well,
Oh, Trent's gonna be.
We'll have
working-
Trent look into it,
yeah,
He's gonna be working on the alleys.
yes.
Pretty soon, so.
and you'll address this issue. Thank you, Trent.
It is gonna be addressed, so.
Yes.
Yeah,
Second to that motion to have Trent look into this?
are you making a motion to have Trent look into
Yeah,
this?
make a motion.
Okay,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Okay. The probationary periods for Diana and Terry have come to We did their reviews with them today, we've got the sheets. I think they're both doing an excellent job for the city. We're very fortunate to have hired good office staff. You will, I believe that for Terry, there's a 50-cent increase at the end of her probation.
No, $1.
It's $1.
yeah.
Okay, all right, and per the letter that is attached to Diana's, there was a meeting where we agreed that after her probationary period, we would bring her salary to the $24.19 an hour. So,
I'll make a motion that we end the probationary periods for both Diana and Terry
at the,
and go with the suggested wages that we had agreed upon.
at the end of their 6-month probation, it'll be May 2nd
Yes.
for Diana and May
May
9th for Terry.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Coming out of church the other day, I was asked by somebody who's got a handicapped spouse why we can't have a handicap parking to the west of the main entrance. And it makes more sense because the hill is right there and the other handicap spot we have is actually on the hill. This would be on more level ground and it's right by the walkway to get into the church. So I was hoping we might be able to just paint one blue parking spot right there and make one handicap parking spot.
Do we have to get permission from any other authority, or can the city just go ahead and do that?
I think it's,
I don't, oh, sorry.
No, good.
I don't know, but I know that we did just paint one spot a couple of
Okay.
years ago.
But in front of the apartments, was it?
Oh,
we
it's-
I think we did have a handicap spot down by the apartments, didn't you?
And in the post office,
yeah,
the curbing at the post office, you guys painted too.
Okay,
And there's, yeah.
yeah, I think
But
that's
those are
within
previous
our authority.
marked
Okay, I
areas.
just
so-
Yeah.
wanted to make sure.
I know when it came up with stop signs, we asked for
Right.
that study to be done, but it was actually a city decision as to what we do, so. Could I have a motion to allow for a parking spot on the west side of the church entrance?
So moved.
Support, you beat me.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
All right.
Opposed, motion carried. And I have, okay,
Well, I'm thinking about this, just take 30 seconds. If we can get, if everybody still got their copy of the regulations for the stubler lots, did you ever get a copy of that, of the regulations? For the requirement for house building there?
No.
Can we make sure that everybody has a copy? I got mine, because at the next meeting, I'd like to put that on the agenda for some discussion as far as the requirements and what we want to do and what has happened, what I told you about today.
Right.
So,
right? Yeah. So we'll talk about it at the next meeting, and if you could put that in everybody's mailbox, and if you guys get a chance to check your boxes, you'll be able to read over what our ordinances were, and what we had decided for the requirements out at the Stubler Pet Fair building. We did have different ones for out there. And I've been contacted by one of the fellows who was with the original group that had started a disc golf course out here. And he's kind of fired up about it again. He would like to move toward finishing this project over here. He said the Hibbing site they're gonna lose it in a couple of years because it's up on Mindview and
that's gonna
that's gonna be
Yeah.
disappearing. He said with that happening, there's some momentum now. He said if we could get the grant monies here to finish this project, it could be done within a year. He's willing to do the work. He knows of some other sources that would help us with it, but he doesn't want to get involved unless the council is supportive of it and we help with looking for grants. He was involved with writing some of the original grants. He said a lot of that the verbiage could stay the same. Some of the figures may change a little bit. It looks like it would be like 40 to 50,000 to finish that whole project out there. But he said the one in Hibbing, they've found that in the wintertime it's used for cross-country skiing and snowshoeing, and it's used for hiking besides being just a I shouldn't say just disc golf, I think that's gotten to be pretty popular up in this area.
Chisholm there, yeah.
Yeah, and I think
Always
that
busy.
we could really bring a lot of interest to our community by getting this project completed. It's a beautiful site over there, if anybody has ever gone over and looked. They did a lot of the clearing and stuff, so a lot of the initial work was
I
done.
have no problem on pursuing that again, you know, it's,
Looking for grants, of course.
Okay. Well, I guess he wanted to know that there was a show of support here. He would have been here tonight and we'd be here for a while yet. But he couldn't make it, so I told him that I would bring it to the council and if we have a show of support that we'd like to try and track down funding and support this project, he will get involved again and get as many people as he can on board with it. He's excited because he loves this sport and he does it out of that. He doesn't make any money on this. It's just something.
I'll make a motion that we show support for disc golf here in our community.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Now, can I have a motion to close the open meeting and go to close?
I'll make a motion to close our open meeting.
Support? Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed, motion carried.
I'll make a motion that we reopen our open meeting.
Support.
All in favor? Opposed, motion carried. We have finished our closed meeting discussing our personnel policy for the city employees, the non-union employees, and we made a motion in our closed session to accept the policy as it has been rewritten with one addition. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. This meeting's adjourned.